Recent studies have shown an increase on government involvement in attacking consumer choice. The federal government finalized new automobile efficiency rules for cars and light trucks for model years 2017 to 2025. The rules require an average fuel economy of 54.5 miles per gallon in 2025. The government also acknowledges that increased fuel efficiency standards will increase the upfront cost of a vehicle. Although the government estimates that higher prices will be more than offset by gasoline savings, generally, the cost savings assume that the buyer keeps the vehicle for its entire lifespan, which usually does not happen because people tend to have several cars in their lifespan. Further, customers tend to drive new fuel-efficient vehicles more, which reduces the estimated price, oil and emission savings as well. Higher prices reduce demand and force people to hold on to their older vehicles longer. Reduced demand means fewer cars are produced, which means automakers have to shed jobs. Although not directly applicable to administration's new rule, the Michigan-based consulting firm, DeFore Group, projected that 56 mile per gallon standard for cars would destroy at least 220,000 jobs. Consumers have plenty of vehicles to choose from, including more than 160 different vehicles today that get better than 30 miles per gallon. Some may say increased efficiency came as a result of mandated fuel efficiency standards that have been around since the 70s, but fuel efficiency has always been a priority to consumers, especially whether they're purchasing compact cars, light-duty trucks, or heavy-duty trucks. The federal government, I believe, should not be restricting that choice and determining what producers make and what consumers shall buy.
Another important policy that needs to be implemented in America deals with the energy crisis that has been slowly created. The actions that must be taken are crucial. The policy must use active measures to reduce America's oil dependence and move the country as rapidly as possible away from the vulnerabilities that are associated with our current reliance on Middle Eastern oil. The fastest and most efficient way to achieve this objective is by finding and using alternative sources of energy. Many solutions have been proposed to our energy problem, however, most of them are just in regards to being environmentally friendly. By increasing domestic oil drilling, applying tougher fuel economy standards, and utilizing alternate sources of energy would all have widespread effects. Some alternative sources of energy consist of water power, solar power, direct current, geothermal systems, and biomass energy. The time has come for America to take an effort towards self-sufficiency. If we set new priorities with this policy and start reducing our dependence on Middle Eastern oil with the alternative energy sources, us as Americans can fix our heavily reliance on oil. Therefore, we need to inspire the citizens of America to work hard towards this goal of energy independence. In order to see these changes actually happen, the policy must be strictly enforced and constantly ongoing, which will lead us to the start of progression to create a more perfect union.
Hi, if I was the President of the United States, I will give free right education for poor people to have a better country economic. Education plays an important role in economic growth of a country. As a matter of fact, poor people are the one who makes the country poor. So, more poor people means that country economic is doing bad. Moreover, most poor people couldn't get out of the poverty their whole life because they can't pay for the school. They just can't afford it. So they will stay their whole life as a poor and consume government money. So if we give poor people a free right education, they will receive a good education, and as the time goes by, there will be more educated people in the country. That will lead to have more producer, and more producer means more quantity produced or more outcome. So everything that we have done will lead to a decrease in unemployment rate. Of course, less unemployment means the country economic is doing good. Education could also lead to a huge change in technology. There, you'll have a dramatic change in supply. So increase in supply means higher prices. Ultimately, demand will also increase since everybody is making good money and they could afford all this stuff. In my conclusion, giving a free right education to a poor people will help country economic for better. Thank you.
If I were the President of the United States, I would be creating policies to help create an increase in economic growth for my country in the long run. I would do so by promoting innovation. Studies have shown innovation and startups fuel our country's economic growth. They are the ultimate job creators, who start with genius ideas that someone takes a risk on and creates values for all American consumers. Our nation was built off of encouraging entrepreneurship and innovation, and this is something that, in my opinion, we have to really avoid falling away from because the economy grows off of our innovation. This innovation also cannot be supported without promoting saving throughout our country. The more saving we have in our country, the more we have to lend out to entrepreneurs for their new ideas and other things. Especially with the current economic downturn we are in, it is crucial that we pursue national policies that promote innovation throughout our economy and also continue increasing human, physical, and technological capital. One of the best ways to increase these many types of capital is investment. By doing this, the government can stimulate economic growth by investing in the economy. Examples of increasing capital are investing in market production, infrastructure, or even something like education for the workers. There are also more specific ways to increase each of these types of capital. Technology policy, which is a policy where government provides incentives to firms to invest a specific amount into technology. And the same goes for human capital development, as investment into this by sending people off to be trained or just continuing to develop key skills and knowledge. All of these things are things that help increase economic growth. Because these things are always increasing productivity and efficiency. Increasing these many different things will lead to an increase in long-run aggregate supply, as well as the aggregate demand in our country. Besides increasing all of the government spending, there also must be an increase in taxation as well in order to lead to economic growth. A balanced out use of increased taxation with increased investment will help lead to the ultimate goal of a powerhouse economy once again.
The legalization of marijuana shows the potential to have a great positive impact on today's economy. At a time when the economy needs a major boost, this could provide economic benefits in billions on a federal level. We would save regional and state governments substantial sums in law enforcement dollars as well. The average annual trade of marijuana is about $113 billion, which is equivalent to nearly $45 billion in taxes slipping away. By being able to regulate and monitor the sales of marijuana, we would economically benefit on municipal, state, and federal taxes. By legalizing marijuana and byproducts, safe products would be guaranteed. Taking marijuana off of the black market provides clear savings for the government. People are in prison because of nonviolent drug offenses, meaning prison spending would also be cut dramatically. Cutting the number of people imprisoned has indirect economic benefits. Systematic poverty can be directly linked to fractured communities, allowing these people to remain with their families, economically participate in their communities, and contribute to society, boosts their own economic chances, as well as those of their families and the community as a whole. On a more local level, legalization of the crop requires cultivation, farmers, farm workers, fertilizer firms, and other manufacturers of agricultural products all stand to benefit. Likewise, trucking, rail, and other transit firms stand to benefit, as well as packing, retail, and processing industries. Since the first retail marijuana stores opened, Colorado has benefited from a decrease in crime rate, increase in tax revenue, and economic output from retail marijuana sales and an increase in jobs. Not to mention all of the medical benefits as well. The most notable common conditions, afflictions, and diseases that marijuana has been proven to help are Alzheimer's disease, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, glaucoma, arthritis, depression, anxiety, hepatitis C, morning sickness, cancer, HIV/AIDS, and chemotherapy. The legalization of marijuana shows that the United States could benefit not only economically, but also medically and within society today.